So Steve Burns, or Stephen Burns, doesn't matter, from MMT presenting on the BAS, right?
BR screen?
BR screen.
That's right. And you can touch
interactive, so yeah, and you can touch it, yeah.
All right. Have you? I'm sure you have. All right, well, I'll go, as I've got the spotlight, I'll have a quick overview of MMT, just a quick one. And then we'll jump straight into the exciting interactive panel. So, for those who don't know, MMT has 95 staff over 4 locations. We're based in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane and Perth. A lot of our staff, the sales staff, are actually have an average tenure of about 12 years. So a lot of us have been around for a while. We know our stuff, and we're actually here to sort of look after you, support, and we're quite knowledgeable as well. So I'm sure plenty of you have dealt with us over the time and know that. So yeah, so you always get someone to speak to. There's no computer answering machines or anything like that. And I've put on your desks, obviously our vendors, just to give you an overview of who we distribute. There'll probably be some that you don't know. There's also a list of the range of BenQ interactive screens and some pricing there as well. So all of that. So a little bit of an overview on the actual interactive market. So the interactive market has been growing quite substantially in Australia. Currently, there's been a little bit, probably just over 10,000 panels a year sold in the Australian market, and that is steadily growing. And over the next few years, we're going to see a lot more of that. BenQ is currently the #1 interactive panel provider in Australia. So if you have a think about 10,000 panels plus per year, there's a very big chunk of that being BenQ. So it's a very good brand. Now, some of the reasons for people sort of choosing to go interactivity, companies are now replacing their whiteboards, and they're also their electronic whiteboards. Now, Panasonic stopped producing them. We no longer sell them, so people are looking for alternatives. And it gives you increased functionality and also collaboration. So schools, if anyone's actually dealing in the education market at all, schools are really taking up on this. They're generally getting rid of their interactive panels, the interactive whiteboards with projectors because of the uptake and maintenance and changing of bulbs and whatnot. So they're actually finding these are a lot better. And the other thing that sort of has increased that is the actual cost of the panels, because there's a lot more being manufactured. That brings the cost down, and it's becoming a lot more affordable. So without further ado, we'll get stuck into the demo. And this is Burak from BenQ.
Thanks, Stephen. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with interactive panels. Many of you have seen one or experienced one or played with anyone? You've got a touch screen. Well, it's a bit different than a laptop, but as you can see, you've got to consider this as a big tablet. So with this, as with most other interactive panels, they're always going to be running Android, but obviously you can have the power of the PC by connecting it directly to it as well. So I'll go through what BenQ offers. This is our current model. It's doing very well. As Stephen mentioned, we're #1 in the market space. And also we've been in the interactive panel scene for about 5 years. So there's been a lot of improvements. We're not new. There's been a lot of improvements on the way. I'll start with some of the hardware features. This has a front-facing soundbar, which is pretty loud. Some of our competitors, they don't come with soundbars, so you'll have to have an additional sound speaker installed. Now BenQ, we're pretty big internationally. I'm pretty sure most of you heard what BenQ is. We deal mainly with monitors, you probably know that, but also we deal with healthcare as well. So in Taiwan, we have 2 hospitals and there's 8,000 beds. Why that's relevant, we make medical equipment for them. And why that's relevant is because we've filtered in a technology from that division onto this panel, which I will get to. This, so as you can see under the light, it's very bright. It's got anti-flicker and it's got low blue light screen as well. As you know, blue light is bad for the retinas. Now, as I mentioned before about the medical division, we've actually, this has a layer on anti-germ, antivirus protection on it. So if the kids got germs in that, once they touch the panel, it kills the germs and viruses straight off that. So that's always on it, that never wears off or kills you. Sorry? Uranium. That's why it's so bright. Some people, yeah, exactly. We're the only one in the market that has that. So this is running on Android. Now, Android is a bit more user-friendly. It's just more simple. Just tap on icons, you're away. Whereas PC and that, you've got more steps to do if you want to open something. So we've got the browser here. You know, just your general browser. You'll have the same experience as you would on a tablet. So you've got that there, and then you can type. It opens up most websites. Easy find up. It's your file explorer inbuilt to the panel. So it's got inbuilt storage, and you can view all the folders there, but obviously you can store, whack in a USB drive, or it's also got 3 USB ports at the back. You can put a hard drive, 2 terabyte hard drive, and you can have more storage for your stuff.
Is it network enabled as well, so you could actually get it from a
You
file?
can set up network drive as well, yes. Easy Write, that's our whiteboard software. So as you can see, it's pretty responsive. It's got 10 points of touch, this panel, like that. And also, you can just use the hand to raise. The panel uses infrared technology, so you can use a cloth to even rub out your writing, and at the same time, it keeps the screen clean.
Can you do like that annoying noise when you write?
You could, but it might leave a mark.
What do they use Texter?
Texter? I'll let you figure that one out.
That's when you clean it with white Tipex.
So, you've got all your tools down here to do your presentations on the whiteboard. You can select a different background if you're not happy with white. You can go old school, just like that. You've got your colors here as well, so you can select the thickness, just like that. Many presets in here, as you can see. You can do musical, and also most importantly, you can put a custom background as well. So if you've got a template, any template you want to use, just whack it on a USB, put it in, and then just select it from the USB drive. So I've actually prepared one. So if I just get that USB, I think it's here. No, I've got it here. Just to give you an example. So you can have a white background with like the logo on the top there, like a little watermark, and then you can do a presentation like just as an example. You've got your selection tool, so you know you can move. Oh, that didn't go well. Like that. Now these pens, it comes with 2 pens, pair of pens. So as you can see, it's got different colored tips. This has an NFC reader inbuilt, as you can see at the front here. So if you don't want to keep going down to the palette, if you want blue, instant blue, just tap it, and it says blue straight away. Just like that. Red. There you go. You've got only 4 colors on the pens to play with, but obviously you've got 12 colors there. You've got a couple of tools in here, perfect for education. It's got a couple of neat tools like a live calculator. So if I go 3 times 5 equals, it'll figure out what I wrote and calculate it. Until I put the equal sign, it will not calculate it. Oh, I should have put the equal sign. It's like that, you can ask. There you go. I haven't really, I'm not the best at maths. This is probably the most fanciest I can get. Times pi I don't know what I'm doing, but there you go. Yeah, that's a great answer. You get the point.
Got that.
Yes. You got a couple of other tools here like geometry, you've got a timer, stopwatch for tests, you've got a scoreboard, you know, select how many teams you want, teams of 4 start, you can ask a question always, so team A, 1 point, double points, you got king and queen, perfect for the schools. Random number generator, you've got that, you've got also a flow chart, so this, now this, as you notice, it's pushed everything to the back. It's created a temporary layout at the front. So now it will actually recognize what I'm drawing or writing. So I'll just put a square there. That. And I can go that. Identify. Slow. There you go. Digitalize. It makes it a bit more neater. And if you've got a flowchart happening and you want to move a couple of boxes or triangles around, it will actually, the line will follow it. It's like that. So if you've got many of it, you can shift it around. If you do a mistake, just scribble it out and it'll erase. Not happy with that, and you rather prefer this.
Yeah, you can leave now.
It's the same, it's just slower.
Yeah. You get the idea. Once you're done, hit complete, hit your selection tool, and then you can rotate whatnot, and then insert as much as you want. Yep.
Wow. And then where do you save these to?
I will get to that. Patient, not to save it. You can split the screen into 3, so if you've got 3 kids up here, you can change different colours, so red, there you go. I'll go red.
Oh, it's Kieran's.
So it doesn't cross over.
I know. We've got one of these houses.
You got your collar is filling around.
No, you wouldn't get me back there.
You can also use this as a master board, so if a teacher wants to ask a question to the kids, anything, you can ask them. Just paste it all there, and they can answer it. Bring that up, put a mistake, or you can erase it. There you go. That's the split screen board. Now, you can also have many pages. So that's page 1. You can't actually pan or zoom into your presentation, but you can have many pages. So that's by pressing this plus button, we're in page 2 now. And each page can be independent, so you can have different backgrounds. So we can choose like a darker background. And change it to 2. And then there you go. This is page 2. And you'll have all your pages here. So if you want to duplicate a page, select it and duplicate. Or you can just have a new page. If you're not happy with one, delete it. Okay. Saving. Listening. Are you listening? This is for you, sorry.
I'm still fawning over the other features.
So you've got the save icon here. Everything's laid out very simple. Universal save sign is still a floppy disk drive. You can select what pages you want to save, and your 2 options of saving is PDF format or JPEG image format. So PDF will be, all 3 will be aligned into one PDF file, all 3 pages, whereas separate pictures they'll be saved separately. And once you hit confirm, it'll ask you where you want to save. So internally or USB, it's up to you. Also, these days, obviously people like, if they've seen a presentation and they want to take it home with them, they just take a photo with their phone. That's cool, but then if there's many pages, it might be a bit tricky, just changing pages. And once you have the picture, it's good for yourself, but if you want to send it to someone or if you want to edit it or anything, it's not the best way. So we've come up with a better idea, which we have QR code. So I click QR code, it'll give me the same save options. So I'll go PDF, all of it. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll just change, that's page 2. I'll just change this a bit different background so it's more noticeable. I don't even know what note that is, but that's the only reason I don't know. and then go back to QR code. If you have whoever's got an iPhone or QR code reader app on Android, feel free to take your phone out. Actually, I don't need you for this. You can sit down. No. I'll rather you. So iPhone users, just click on your camera app, and then Android users, if you've got a QR code reader app, open that. Now just face the camera on that, you zoom in if you can, and just click on the drop down menu as soon as it appears. So zoom in if you can't get it. So probably the guys down there might get it, you guys might be difficult.
Oh, that is very good.
So you've got the original PDF file on your phone now. You can email it, save it, do whatever you want. It's more presentable, you can edit it, do whatnot. It's not a silly little photo you take with your phone. And it's the same basically. You bring out your phone and you bring out the camera where you get the original file. Through the whiteboard, yeah. So now you can email it or save it, do whatever you want from your phone. It's an original PDF file.
What other options are there for exporting?
Oh, yes.
You've got saving in the on a local disk, on a local machine,
Yep.
into the USB.
Yep.
Is there any network connectivity for saving?
Yes, you can save on the network as well, but
Dropbox, or you link up to Dropbox or
so
anything?
yeah, I will get to all that soon. So first you have to save locally, but then it's a simple drag and drop into your cloud services through another app, which I will get to. It's very simple. Yeah. Oh, there's too much to go through. I've got 5 minutes left. So, guys, too late. I've got no time. I've got to rush this. All right. So that's the whiteboard app. And you can also, once you set up your printer on the network, you can print it directly. And if you set up an email account, you can. Any questions regarding the whiteboard app?
We'll do questions later.
All right, no worries. Now, I've got to mention that this is, as you see, you don't have to have, this has multiple account modes. You can just have the panel running like that, or if you want, each person can have a profile. And if a scenario would be, if you have 10 boardrooms or 10 classes, a panel in each, you can actually have a profile on your card. So you'll have a login, and then to log in, just tap the card, NFC, and it logs into your account. Just like that.
Can I use my phone to log in?
That's only one-way phones. You can't write your profile on that. You can only read from Apple Pay. It's only one-way traffic. You can't program a
This is a
profile.
reader, yours is a reader, they're not going to get together.
Yeah. So I'll get to the question from before. So AMS. So now I've logged into my profile. I've assigned my Google Drive, Dropbox, everything. So now if I click on my Google Drive, just like that. Cool. Oh, we're having issues. Dropbox? Oh, sorry. I must not have anything on Google Drive, but Dropbox, there you go. That's my folders and presentations. And now I can open directly, or I can drag and drop into the internal storage or USB, and then vice versa. Simple drag and drop. And the work we did before the presentation that was saved, I can just drag it and drop it into my Google Drive instantly there. And then you can share the link.
I can read Office documents.
Yes, this will open all your documents. So PowerPoint, Word, Excel will open all.
You agree with that?
This panel had a recent reset, so I think that's what's done.
Why?
Troubleshooting, because this is our little demo troubleshooting panel as well as our presentation. So it was more to do with firmware. So there you go. I've got my tools there, and I can select my pages and that.
Any good sound files?
Sound files.
But that do multimedia.
Multimedia, yeah, it will play. I will show another feature of the panel, which you will see the sound and whatnot. Instant Share. So this has Instant Share is a collaborating tool. So with this, you can actually use your devices, your tablets, your mobile phones, and your laptops to mirror the screen onto the panel wirelessly. So demonstration is the Q share. So I'll get Stephen here to mirror his phone. So forgot to mention, this has inbuilt AirPlay. So all your Apple devices, you just go to screen mirroring in the default control panel, and click, if it's on a MacBook or iPhone, screen mirroring, and then you'll have your screen up here. So as you navigate, it will appear. So there you go, Stephen's now navigating through his Android via getting the InstaQshare app. Yep, so if he wants to show photos or videos, he can. He's probably got some private stuff, so he probably won't.
That's how it counts. You can mirror a Windows machine too.
I will get to that, yes. You can
You can also draw all over your phone.
which is very cool. Yep. So the cool thing about this is, actually what I'll do is I'll get another volunteer, someone a bit closer to my hotspot. Who wants to volunteer?
Jerry does, he's hanging for it.
Anyone, any volunteer, just to join into this calibration?
We're
No?
on a laptop.
What do we need?
iPhone.
Yes, and what app?
You need to install InstaQshare app. I'll get to it one second. We got how long do we have? 0. Forget it, don't worry about it. You can install the InstaQshare app, and it's got cool collaboration features like you can have the panel back on your phone, and then you can annotate and it will appear here as well. So if you can have 4 people having the annotation going on each device, and it will all appear here.
And all cross-platform, so Windows, iPhone, Android.
Yep, so Windows is very simple. You just get this app. It's a standalone app, you don't have to install. It's just that little box there. And it's found the panel because I'm on the same network share screen. It's that simple there. And the cool thing about InstaQshare, I can control my laptop from here. No wires. You can also do it with MacBooks as well and control your MacBook from here.
How long are you making MacBooks touchscreen?
So if you want to present something that's on your laptop rather than using the Android, you're more than welcome to do it this way. Don't forget you can also hardwire it as well if you want, let's say like a 4K resolution. Because this panel is 4K by the way. But through InstaQshare you're not going to get 4K.
If you've got 4 tablets, you can all collaborate at the same time.
Correct.
Yeah, right.
So, yes. Obviously you need a decent connection going. You know, there's no really limit on how many people can connect, but the more people that connect,
So
the
you
better.
can load up Netflix and what have you?
So this panel is locked, but you can sideload apps to it. So you can sideload Netflix and
Is that Play Store?
doesn't have a TV tuner, but feel free to
Sideload.
Who watches TV?
That's it. You can get most of it, all the free apps.
Unsigned APKs?
Yeah, and just
Katie?
So we also have an easy tool, 2-finger salute. That brings up the easy tool. Now this is inbuilt to the panel, not the Android. So if I'm in Windows or Mac or anything, that comes up. And through this I can annotate, just like that. So another example, if I go back to Windows, I can bring that up as well. So I can annotate over anything. You can take screenshots as well, whatever's on this display. And also, most importantly, you can video record. So this panel has microphones here. And with video recording, it's perfect for training. You can run a session, it will capture your voice as you explain it. It will record everything on the whatever's displayed. So I'll give you an example. Click record. We'll ask them what I want to say. Save there. Okay. And there you go, it's starting to record. So I can start annotating if I've got a presentation on display from my laptop, or I can get rid of that tool. It's still recording. I can switch sources into another HDMI source, whatever you might have, or go back to the Android. It's still recording. Go back into whiteboard, do another presentation, just like that. And you can stop the recording from here, or you can bring up that tool from outside the whiteboard. So bring that up. Cool. There you go. Stop. Recording has saved. Oh, that's right. That pauses the screen. Got to get rid of that. Easy finder. So there it is. Okay. And there you go, it's starting to record. Pretty nice. I can start annotating if I've got a presentation on display from my laptop. That's I can get rid of that tool. It's still recording. I can switch sources into another HDMI source, whatever you might have, or go back to the Android.
It's still recording.
There you go. Perfect for training.
Go back into whiteboard, do another presentation. Like
I
that.
get the idea. Because I've had enough here in my...
You can stop.
Does it support external mic sources?
Sorry?
External mic sources?
As in devices?
Microphone.
Oh yes, of course, yes. So just plug. So it's got 6 USB ports. So if you want to plug in a web, like this is obviously also plugged in by USB. If you want to plug in a microphone, just plug it in and it will work. Obviously, we use so our panels. We actually we're using Zoom, but now we're crossing over to have a partnership with Blizz. Blizz is a new video conferencing tool by TeamViewer. So you can also do video conferencing. So we've got the Logitech Meetup here, which is our preferred partner. So I'll get Stephen. So I'll start a meeting, and then if Stephen's remote, I can just give him that code. Or I can email it to him through the share icon there. But he's here, so he can just type in the code there. So you might not go back to your voice.
And mute it.
So there you go. Oh, I forgot to put our camera on. So there we go. So if you want to show everyone what this camera's seeing, so there you go, just like that. And with the Logitech Meetup, this is a 4K motorized camera, so you know, you can set default location. So if there's someone there that you want to set, just press 1. As you can see, it's going to go down and it'll appear on his phone as well. If there's someone over there, just go like that. There you go. Not that, by the way, it's this. You're confusing that.
Not here, I can see it.
Yeah, no, that's a video conferencing. If you're using Skype for business, you can install Skype for business.
Got any questions?
Yep. Also, another thing is, before I go, Air Class, it's a polling software, so you just QR code it and then you use your phone to vote like A to I letters, so you can run a quiz or voting anything, and the people will vote and you'll get a graph on who voted for what.
Maybe we should do that for the elections next time.
Yeah, yes.
Questions?
Questions, please.
2 questions. Firstly, the panel that's showing there, how much is that on this?
That's a 65-inch.
What's this one?
65 inch. No, so the sizes are, it's 55, which might be a little bit small, 65, 70, 75 and 86.
Okay. If we've got a customer interested, obviously the demo it's hard. We've got a customer that was interested. Obviously it's an easy product to show if you could show it.
So
how do we organise that?
Right, so we have a demo in Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane. So if you've got any customers that you want to bring them into M&T, we've got a demo room, we can go through it. And for bigger opportunities, this is available. It's the Road Warrior, so Dura can actually go out and do demos for schools or big companies or whatnot. So there's plenty there. But yeah, anytime you want to come into MMT, you're most welcome. Just let us know.
Right, so while you're here, why don't we do prize draws for the monitor?
That Logitech, they emphasise the match the TVs.
So you did the soundbar?
Yes.
So this is inbuilt to the TV?
Oh, right, what about
This is the camera.